Right, today at the Spotlight Review Station, we're going to be taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 3 Dino Charge Gold Ranger. But before we take a look at the action figure at hand, let's take a look at the packaging at the moment. As partake of every single video review on this channel, up close in your face. And here we've got the front of the packaging, which is generic to all the Lightning Collection figures, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's actually a really good thing. Dino Charge Gold Ranger with Hasbro's logo. Ages 4 and plus, warning, choking hazard, top right corner. The lovely artwork for the Gold Ranger making up the side. Here's a look at the action figure from within. On this side, here's another look at that lovely artwork of the Gold Ranger. On this side, completes the look of the Gold Ranger from the front. Above that, it says Power Rangers Dino Charge. On the back of the packaging, we got a look at the CGI render form of the action figure himself, with some warning context and all that kind of stuff down below, and our little sad onion face. Right, with that introduction out of the way, let's go ahead and remove the packaging and take a look at the figure from behind. And the first thing that I want to showcase is all the lovely paintwork on this figure, which is pretty clean. For the most part, outside of just this little black dot right here that I'm pointing at with my thumb, I really don't see any sloppiness to the work. And as I did showcase, I do have two figures, one in packaging and one outside of packaging that I can display. And I'll show you real quickly, because this is the first figure that I actually bought. And this one is quite a mess. As you can see, his dino symbol right there on his chest has been misprinted. And if you look very closely at the visor piece, you can kind of see the crackings within the mold, and that's kind of disturbing. It is a real ugly approach. While if you look at the figure right here, he doesn't seem to have that problem. It's a nice glossy black paint over a very smooth finish in the sculpting. Something that I did want to mention right here is that his shoulder pads are actually supposed to be glued in place. They are not on this figure. So if you're not careful with the way you're handling him, they do have a tendency to pop off. And it's not a big issue, as you can just tab it right back into place, but it's kind of an ignorance. But for the most part, this figure really is nicely sculpted and looks very true to his on-screen counterpart, and that's all I could really ask for. They even went to the liberty of painting the morpher on his wrist. That's actually a really nice touch. But the one big gripe that I got against this figure, which everyone else seems to have, is the fact that Hasbro skipped in the paint department around the neck piece. And even if I was to paint this entire piece white here, I don't know what I'd be able to do with the joint piece, as it would rub up against the neck and probably scrape away the paint. So let's go into articulation on the Gold Ranger. He does have a ball joint at the neck and a hinge joint at the neck for up and down movement. You got a butterfly joint for some very nice inward and outward movement at the shoulders. Speaking of the shoulders, they're on hinges, so you can get a lot of inward and outward movement. You also can get a complete 360 rotation without hindrance from the shoulder pad. Have a bicep swivel cut, double jointed elbows, a swivel cut at the wrist section with a hinge joint for inward and outward movement, which is restricted because of the handle piece of the Dino Charge Morpher. We have a ball jointed upper torso. We got some very lovely ab crunch feature here with this much forward and that much going back, which is unreal. We got ball joints at the hips with this much kicking forward at the legs and that much going back, which is pretty much just a reset. And we still cannot pull off a full JCVD split, which is a common feature with this line. But we do have a nice tight thigh swivel cut with some very lovely double jointed knee articulation and a standard swivel cut above the boot section with a hinge joint for up and down movement at the ankles, which is pretty secured on this figure. And to follow all that up, we have a lovely ankle rocker pivot. So we have many options at posing our figure, but of course we gotta have something to go with this. We can't just pose the figure alone. So let's give him a weapon. His signature weapon at that. So here is the Gold Ranger's Dino Saber, or whatever it's called from the show, which looks really nice. So the Gold Ranger's weapon does have a nice action feature. It can actually transform into its blaster mode, which, you know, it looked like this in the show, so I'm not complaining. But you also notice that there are 3 holes here at the bottom, so it kind of makes me wonder what these 2 holes are intended for. And it does tab in pretty securely, and if you move it around, it's not going to come loose, which is nice. Taking a look at the paint application on this, we got some gold here for the striping at the front of the beak on both sides, and both the eyes are actually painted in a nice red, with silver making up a good portion of the weapon itself, and a solid blue plastic here for the bottom portion of the jaw. And of course, the Gold Ranger figure can hold this weapon with no problems whatsoever. Also included is a very nice lightning effect piece, which hints the Lightning Collection. It's made out of a very nice transparent yellow plastic, which is very rubbery. Makes it very easy to get this applied onto the weapon. But once you got it on there, it does look very nice. The Gold Ranger figure also includes 2 interchangeable hands, one being a karate chop pose and the other being a straight balled up fist. And finally, the other essential piece to the Lightning collection would be the interchangeable head, where we have the actor's likeness. Looks okay from what I remember in the show. Name skips me at the moment, I do apologize, but this does look pretty close to the actor from within the costume, right? And switching out the heads is as simple as 1, a 2, and a 3. To give you a quick rundown of the size of the figure, he stands approximately in between 15 and 16 centimeters tall, and that's a little over 6 inches in height. And for a good side-by-side comparisons with our next video review, here is the Dino Charge Gold Ranger figure from the Lightning Collection compared to the Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, not Armored Red Ranger. So there you have it, folks. There's my overall look at the Gold Ranger figure from the Dino Charge series of Power Rangers Lightning Collection. If you have any questions or comments, you know to do, hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you liked today's video review, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, my friends, this is Red's Power signing off saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.